So this could have been your first film, Alaya.
Yeah, very easily could have been my first film.
All right, and you went to see Pathaan with Anurag Kashyap. How was that experience?
Yeah, that was great. I mean, see, it's more fun when you kind of watch it with an audience.
And all these visuals are coming out of people just freaking out. Uh, so on Jo Majo Pathaan and all those
I feel
Elements.
like the audience has been wanting to feel this way. It's as much as the audience has, also been saying what they're okay with, what they're not okay with, how much they'll stand now and how much they won't stand now.
So we all were, we went with love for Shah Rukh sir because we love him so much and we are seeing him after so many years on screen. So the audience going crazy about it is like what you want to see, going, whistling and, just those are like moments that anyone would, love to have and love to see at the same time to experience it. So that's like that's great.
And interestingly, a reel was responsible for getting you this film, apparently.
A reel as in now most people, because now तो Instagram का जमाना हो गया है, तो everyone thinks reel मतलब वो Instagram reel.
Okay, Alaya and Karan, welcome on Connect FM Canada. कैसे हैं आप लोग?
Very good, बहुत excited, बहुत थोड़े से nervous और हाँ बस generally बहुत excited करण.
सेम जस्ट मिक्स ऑफ एवरी इमोशन. अब सिर्फ 6 दिन बचे हैं पिक्चर के लिए, तो फाइनली अब लोग देख पाएंगे कि हमने जिस चीज पे इतने सालों से काम किया है. और
Right. So this could have been your first film, Alaya.
Yeah, very easily could have been my first film if it was made now 4 years ago. But yeah, this was meant to be my first. I've been talking about it since Javani Janeman. So I'm so excited that finally this small little labor of love that we have been nurturing and feeding and taking care of for the last 4 years is finally, being presented to the world. It almost feels like this little baby that we've sort of, fed and taken care of and put effort into for all this time is finally, going into the outside world. So it's exciting and a little nerve-wracking, and I think it just feels very special.
Okay, and DJ Mohabbat, I believe that it will become like a brand after this, right?
We hope DJ Mohabbat becomes a brand.
we just hope anything good happens to this. We just hope for any good thing.
All right. And Karan, apparently you've been part of this film for the last 6 years.
7 years, but being part with Anurag sir, not this film. This film came a bit later.
All right. So tell us something about the experience. I'll start with Karan. Your association with Anurag Kashyap, and what does it mean to you?
It's such an opportunity that I got to work with him. It's like a dream that I never thought about. And obviously, like this film came, like I said, a bit after. So once we found out that we're doing this film, and we worked. I did a lot of workshops. I did a lot of classes, and it was all put together. So it's something that it's like a school. It was like more preparing us for the future. We worked in like Anurag sir's way of working is something very different. It's not like the usual style. I mean, the journey has been really great because I also come from that side that I made short films with my friends before, and we put it out on YouTube. And this is where he picked me up from because Alaya, his daughter, watched it and showed it to him. So that is when he decided to call me, and I went to his house. Like I was so excited, and he put me through a lot of workshops, made me assist films, and once Alaya came on board, is when we finally decided to do this project. So yeah, for the first film, it was great. We got to learn a lot.
All right. And Alaya, this could have been your first film.
Yes.
What if it was your first film?
It would have been great. I mean, I truly believe that everything happens for a reason and everything happens at the time it's meant to happen. And I think this film was meant to happen at this time. It was meant to come out at this time. Why? That I'll tell you after it releases, and based on what it does for me, I'll say, see, it was happened at this time because this happened and this shaped it like this. So yeah, I mean, in the start, it's a little scary, when you have a film that's taking so long to be made, and it it's something that doesn't happen often. So it comes with a lot of questions, and you just have to sort of trust Anurag sir and put that faith in him, and just trust him. And I think that's what we did right from the start. And so there was never really any pressure or expectation on this film. It was just something that sort of organically, really wonderfully just kept building and building. And it grew into this wonderful, beautiful project that we're now also proud to present to everyone.
Okay, and interesting part is that Anurag Kashyap films, they get better with time. So they release at a particular point of time, and gradually people start discovering various shades in them. Does that excite you? Because I'm sure that you are the sort of actor who works for posterity as well. You've just had a couple of films, but the intelligence that you have, the pedigree that you're having. So films are something that you would want to put it on your shelf later on, that I was part of this film and this has grown on to become something else from what it started off.
100%. I think every single film that I have worked on, or I am currently working on, or I even will work on, I think I want every film to be something that I can be really, really proud of. And that only comes from having a sense of a connection with every film you do. And I'm very grateful to be able to say I've had this great connection with every film I've done so far. And this is something that's been with me through the course of me doing all my other films. And I feel like this film has a little bit of Javani Jane Man Alaya in it, has a little bit of Freddy Alaya in it, has a little bit of U-turn Alaya in it, has a little bit of all the Alayas that sort of took form in all these different projects. I feel like there's a little bit of all of them in this particular one, because we shot it over such a large period of time. And that's why this one feels even more close to my heart in a lot of ways. And I'm sure this is something that people will go back to and find so many interesting little aspects in, even later when they watch it again or catch it later, or all of that. And I think when you just put your trust in someone like Anurag, so I think wonderful things happen.
And interestingly, a reel was responsible for getting you this film, apparently.
A reel, as in, now most people, because now तो Instagram का जमाना हो गया है, तो everyone thinks reel मतलब वो Instagram reel. जब मैंने reel बोला था, I meant वो जो acting reels होते हैं, where you put together many videos and all of that from your acting class. It was a 7-minute reel. तब
मैं
Instagram
वही
reels भी
सोचा
नहीं
था
थे.
मैं वही सोचा था कि 7 मिनट का इंस्टाग्राम रील कौन सा होगा. ओह ओके, दैट्स अ गुड पॉइंट. ओके, ऑलराइट.
बट हाँ, एक एक्टिंग रील था जो ऑल द वीडियोस फ्रॉम माय एक्टिंग क्लास, द गुड वंस दैट आई रियली लाइक्ड, I edited them and I put them in one video with little background music and all of that I had done. And I went to meet Anurag sir and I showed him my reel. When I first met him, he was like, yeah, no, like, I don't make your types of films. And he was trying to basically shoo me away. And I just showed him my reel. I said, just watch my reel. Just give me your advice, give me your opinion. Tell me what I can work on, what I should work on. And he saw my reel, and 7 minutes later, he offered me this film point blank. And it just started the most wonderful journey of confidence and learning. And it was just a great foundation to start my career on.
All right, and Karan, I believe Anurag's daughter, I think, was also instrumental in this film. Supposedly, like a Valentine's Day release, like a romantic film. Even there must be something more to it. When it comes to understanding the nuances of an Anurag Kashyap world, how much do you have to dive deep into within yourself? Maybe get a few I think inputs maybe from the world of Gulzar Sahab, as repeatedly has been said in the film as well. How crucial is that to basically just delve deeper?
Yeah, for sure. Like before we started shooting this film, we I would speak about myself. Anurag sir put me through a lot of workshops, and these workshops were about finding yourself, finding your inner self, diving deep into who you are. So there were a lot about them. And also, I think his way of working is something like what I've seen, at least with this film. He creates a thing around you. So it's a mix and match of both, where you're trying to find yourself, your inner self, but he's also creating things around you. This film is, I think, a little extra special for me, and I can't say it now because I think once the film comes out is when I will be able to share why this film is always going to be super special to me. So yeah, his way of working is like that, and I did a lot of workshops, I did a lot of classes. It's kind of saying like diving deep into yourself, and if we're still trying to figure it out, I mean, there is he also like creates things around you, so it works like that both ways.
All right, and you went to see Pathaan with Anurag Kashyap. How was that experience?
Yeah, that was great. I mean, see, it's more fun when you kind of watch it with an audience, because they're looking at it from a very different perspective. When you're watching it with a director, his perspective is also very different. So we all were, we went with love for Shah Rukh sir, because we love him so much and we are seeing him after so many years on screen. So yeah, but like I also saw it recently again, and even with an audience. So the audience going crazy about it is like what you want to see, going, whistling, and just those are like moments that anyone would, love to have and love to see at the same time to experience it. So that's like that's great.
So what does this fascination for the big screen experience tell you? The way people are responding to the film.
What, this Pathan experience?
Yeah.
It's just everything together. I mean, to be able to see someone on such a big screen, it's like a larger than life experience. And it's something that maybe you want to do when someone's like doing a certain thing in a movie, and you want to do that, but you can't do that because it's not possible. But on screen, they're able to do that because you have cameras, and it's like, so to be able to see that, and with like sound and such a big screen, it's like it's amazing. It's kind of like your inner feeling. It's like, yeah, which you can't take out, but you can see.
So, right, Alaya, have you seen the film?
No, I'm watching it tomorrow night. I tried
Yeah, I'm
watching
going
it on
again.
the 26th. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're also coming with me again on the 29th.
watching it for
I
the
tried,
fourth time.
yeah, I had an off on the 26th and I really wanted to watch it on that day, but no tickets. So that was great. No, only the first row tickets were then. I wanted to watch it properly, so I didn't go on that day then, but I'm going to watch it tomorrow. Really looking forward to it.
But what does this excitement for a big ticket movie tell you? Because I'm sure that any actor would aspire to have films like these in their career, that people are literally rooting for it, and all these visuals are coming out of people just freaking out. So on Jo Majo Pathaan and all those
I feel like
elements.
the audience has been wanting to feel this way. It's as much as the audience has, also been saying what they're okay with, what they're not okay with, how much they'll stand now and how much they won't stand now. I feel like the audience still at its core, the in the film industry, Bollywood is so close to every Indian's heart. It's something that they've grown up with, the music, the songs, the visuals, the stars, the all of that. It's something that almost every Indian has grown up with inherently, watching and living and breathing or dreaming about every day in some way, shape, or form. And that love doesn't go away. Of course, our viewing patterns changed for a bit in the middle because there was a worldwide pandemic and we all sort of got used to seeing things on a smaller screen at home.
All right, and I find this quality so fascinating in Anurag, that he's so confident of his own work, that he's able to appreciate work of others even though it is releasing around his film, and that has always been the case. That is, I think, one of the reasons that films like Devdi, Gulal, and even now Gangs of Wasseypur recently celebrated 10 years. That his films, they become classics over a period of time. They get talked about over a period of time. So many dialogues and of Gangs of Wasseypur, they've been made into memes, which is fascinating. So does that inspire you in a way, as a film buff, as a movie personality, that you don't have to be insecure about anything, as long as you're confident of your work, and you can still appreciate other people's works?
Yeah, like I think we actually we spoke about this, and what he says is like, if you're insecure as a person, it will show, it will resonate, it will, so not great things come out of a place of insecurity, but once you're secure and you're confident of your work, you're able to view other people's work in a certain, good way without like being insecure about it. So yeah, that's the conversation that we had actually a few days ago only itself.
What about you, Alaya?
For me, when like we all know now, this film was supposed to be my first film, and when I got Jawani Janeman, it was just like, it was actually 2 months after I got Almost Pyar, so it was so shortly after, and I was really excited to have gotten Jawani Janeman, but at that point I didn't know how Anurag sir was going to react to the fact that I'd got another project, just because a lot of directors or productions that come on board to do your first film, they usually want their first film to release, with you. They don't want your first film to be another production house or director's film. And I remember, getting so nervous and picking up the phone to tell him that I had got this project and we're starting to shoot sooner than Almost Pyar, and that could potentially mean that that releases before Almost Pyar. And I remember being so nervous to make this call, and called him. I told him, I went on this long rant saying, I've got this film and it's really nice and I really, really, really want to do it. But, I don't know if it's okay with you and, whatever. And I went on this whole nervous rant, and he was like, you're done? I was like, yeah. He was like, please do the film. He said, please go do it. I'm so happy for you. He said, I don't have any of these things of I want to launch you. He said, as long as you're doing my film, I'm happy. He said, just do my film also. And then otherwise go do what you want, go fly. And I remember that very clearly, and that was just my first initiation to Anurag sir, where there's no sense of insecurity or even ego, for that matter. If there were any times that dates were clashing or any of that, he was always so lovely about it and so gracious about it, and more than that, so supportive. It was always about supporting and empowering me rather than making it something else. And I think just seeing that, I feel like your first few films shape the way you approach the industry in a lot of ways, because they're your first few experiences firsthand in depth of the industry. And I just feel really grateful that I had the most wonderful experiences.